Hello students, today we're going to have a conversation about volume of geometric shapes. In construction, probably the most common geometric shape you would have is this rectangular prism. If you're finding the volume of a room or if you're estimating for concrete, you're going to be using this shape. Occasionally you might come across a cylinder because if you're pouring that as a pole, but we're focusing on the volume of the prism, which is the length times the width times the height, or times the thickness if you're dealing with concrete, like a concrete slab. So let's do an example together. We're asked to find the number of cubic yards. Now that's going to be important. Cubic yards of concrete for this residential foundation wall. You've got two pieces to your foundation wall. You've got the footing, which is this bottom part in the picture here, and then you've got the stem wall. So what we're going to be doing is breaking those into two pieces, and we're actually going to use a little bit of a spin. Length times width times height. Oh, and the volume formula, because we're going to divide it by 27. What dividing it by 27 does is takes cubic feet and converts it into cubic yards. This is the formula that you would be using for estimating concrete, and we're going to be coming back to estimating concrete here in a couple weeks. But the very first thing that we have to do is convert all of these measurements into feet. This one is already feet. So if we did 8 inches, to make this into feet, we'd have to divide it by 12. If we took 8 divided by 12, we're going to get 0.67. Here, 20 inches divided by 12 is going to make it 20 divided by 12 is going to say 1.67 feet. 8 inches again is the same as that other one, 0.67 feet. 16 inches divided by 12 is 1.33. So now that we've converted all these into feet, they will be better applicable into our formula that estimates concrete. And so we're looking at just the footing first. That's the bottom part of that. The length of it is 32. The width of it is 1.33. The height is 0.67, because we're talking about this height right here. And we're going to divide that all by 27, because 27 will convert it into cubic yards for us. 32 times 1.33 times 0.67, all divided by 27. So in that, just to that footing, there's 1.06, if we round it, cubic yards of concrete. So let's talk about the stem wall then. The stem wall, we're going to do it the same, because it's basically the same shape, just turned the other direction, right? So we're going to use the formula length times width times height divided by 27. And for the stem wall, that's that piece that's on top here, it's still 32 feet long, so we say 32 feet times how wide it is. It would be 0.67 of a foot, because remember we did that conversion, 0.67. And then how tall is it, how high or how thick, is 1.67. and these measurements are all feet, and then your 27 is what converts it into cubic yards, because there's 27 cubic feet in a cubic yard. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply those and divide by 27. So in the stem wall, there's 1.33 cubic yards of concrete. We would add these two things together to get 2.39 cubic yards of concrete altogether. Right? In the next week, we're going to be working on these couple application problems. And then these ones also, remember I told you that you may come across a cylinder if you're going to be pouring it as a cylinder. Oh, it's a pier pad for out in the ocean. Okay, so that's next week. We're going to be working on those examples. Make sure that you submit any notes that you have with this assignment, and we will look forward to seeing you next week. Okay.